So we're welcome to the day two. Oh, good to hear that. Good to hear that. Good evening from Malawi. To the day two. Awesome. Good evening. You're welcome. Prince, you're welcome. Good to have you. Let's know where you're joining from. How was Sunday? How was church? How was mosque? Whichever one you attended. Or even if you didn't attend anyone, feel free to let us know. Have you been resting? How are you doing? Good to have you here. Welcome back to the day two of Mastering the Heart and Science of Premarital Coaching. You will agree with me that day one was a bomb, was exotic. There are things that you didn't know before that you encountered yesterday, right? Hello, hello, hello. Did you sleep over what you learned? How was it for you? Can somebody talk to me in the chat box? How was it for you? How was yesterday for you? Yesterday was an experience. Eva, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yesterday was informative. Great. It was it was a breath of fresh air. I agree with you. Really eye-opening. I agree. 100% loaded. You should get ready for today. I agree. Yesterday was 100% loaded. Do you remember anything from yesterday? You know, what jumped at you, while Coach Dima was speaking? Or maybe Oladoyin, the lady that came to talk about our experience at the academy. Don't tell me you have used all that you learned yesterday to go and eat. What's the common food, in your area, in your country? Here, I think it's rice and stew, maybe burger somewhere else. So, of the things that you learned yesterday, which part of it can you still remember?
Chicken and chips.
Please be muted. Thank you. Oh, somebody said chicken and chips. Did I just hear that? Amazing. Amazing. Okay, Christiana says, I'm eagerly looking forward to today. Beautiful. Okay, Betty says the coach thinking that they can fix the couple. Yes, Coach Dima told us, it's one of the mistakes, that coaches make. Thank you for that. Yesterday, we learned great things that changed my paradigm. Okay, beautiful. Can you share with me one thing that you learned yesterday? Prince, about throwing religion, and cultural codes at your clients. Any of you remember that? What are the mental blocks that you have noticed, that you have sat over, and you have made the decision to turn a new leaf? Christiana says, for me, yesterday showed the big difference between faith-based premarital coaching without training, zeal without knowledge, and PMC that is based on training. Yes, absolutely. A lot of the people who use native intelligence and are not trained for this, they end up damaging people. They end up causing trouble. Okay, so basic skills to mentoring intended couple. Okay, Bartholomew, thank you for sharing. Emeka, thank you. Assuming that you already know their needs. Yes, without thorough investigation, without assessing them. Beautiful. You're welcome. Without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. And I'm hoping that if you have friends who are supposed to be on this call and they're not yet here, I would humbly ask that you send them a message that we're starting right about now. Okay. Mwago. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce that correctly. This is my second day and would like to know how I can access the training. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love the spirit. Yes, this is what we're talking about. So please, I need you to stay till the end of today's webinar. You're going to get all the details, at the end of today's webinar. Thank you. Thank you. Can somebody just catch that spirit already? Being stuck in your past methods, even when it's no longer working. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Noella. Thank you. So if you have friends who are supposed to be here and they're not already here, please send a message to them and tell them that we're starting right away. Coach Dima, our amazing coach. By the way, I'm Ayobami Omoniwa. I'm also a proud alumni of the academy. And you can see me glowing. I'm glowing from knowledge. Knowledge is life, is power, So I'll be bringing Mama Hop now, the coach of all, so many of us, coach of coaches, the ever radiant, ever vibrant, the queen of happiness herself, no other, the eloquent, the elegance. She's just ticking all the boxes. As in, I'm like, oh God, she has finished all this glow. We that were upcoming, which one are we going to do now? God, she has set that standard, and it's amazing. Thank you so much, Mama. Good to have you back. Welcome. Good evening, Ma.
Good evening, Ayobami. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Is my voice a bit low? It's better?
Yes, very well. Very well.
Thank you so much. How are you doing and how is family?
Very well, thank you, Ma.
Now your smile is ever captivating. I want to be learning to be smiling like you always, not just sometimes.
Thank you.
All right, it's great to have you kickstart today's conversation. So everyone, welcome to day 2. I'm also glad that someone is getting that mojo and saying, oh, how can I join the academy? I've gotten people share that message with me since yesterday, and I'm glad that you know that you need additional training to do what you need to do. Okay, so for those of you who missed yesterday, because I'm seeing someone in the chat room, it's okay. Yesterday is available on Start Your Marriage Right Academy YouTube channel, so you can always go back to watch it. So let's get into the conversation of today. Ayobami had already started us up with, checking in with us, how yesterday resonated with us. But I want to just ask a question as I bring back my slides. And my question is, based on the shifts that happened with you yesterday, based on your learnings yesterday, what is that one thing you want to start doing differently in your practice? Please come to the chat room and share that with me. It's one thing to learn things, it's another to want to put it into practice immediately. So based on yesterday, what is that one thing that you think you want to start doing differently? Okay, so I'm hoping to read from lots of us to see what that is for you. Is there someone who has shared? Okay. Admin, please put in the link for those who want to quickly enroll, because I'm seeing somebody say, how do I enroll for the full course? Just drop it in the chat room because we're going to keep getting that request so that whoever wants to jump in right now can do that. So please put the link there. Juliet is saying, put structures in place and get more training. Based on yesterday, I'll be giving the intending couple more practical, experiential practice sessions. That's amazing. Thank you, Christiana, for that, because that will really make the difference for them to come to self-learning themselves. Okay, so today I promised you that we will be looking deeper into this blueprint. We've been talking about the things you need to do. How do you now do them in a systematic way? How do you do them in a strategic way? How do you do them? And then you are able to measure the progress that you're making with them. It is when you have a blueprint that delivers. And I tried to introduce you to this. So we're going deeper on this blueprint. Based on the research, 20 years and counting, research that we have been doing at the Start Your Marriage Right Academy, we have come to realize that what it takes for a couple to continue to enjoy a flourishing marriage, for them to continue to weather the storms that life will give them, it is based on these three pillars. And I will go ahead to explain the three pillars to you. For my husband and I, who founded this academy, we came to see that the work we did on ourselves and together before getting married and in the early years of our marriage has given us some of the crossover of the things that people complain about in their relationships. And then we said, you know what? It's best to begin to instill the skills, these techniques in the young people so that they don't have to go through the trials of marriage. They don't have to suffer before they can now settle into a flourishing marriage. I remember back then when Neduma and I were dating, and we would buy all of the tapes that late Pastor Bimbo Uduka of blessed memory had. We had two sets of it because Neduma and I became a thing when I was still in when I was still in university. And so he was based in Lagos, Nigeria, and I was in Ilori, University of Ilori, Kwara State. So we had all of those tapes in twos. So I go back to school with mine, he would listen to it. And Sundays, we had a ritual of talking to each other every Sunday to discuss what we learned from that tape. Of course, we also bought books, and then we would also have those books in two copies, and then we would read and then share ideas, the ones we didn't understand. And then when I come home for holiday, we would go to Pastor Bibo Dukoya's Single and Married, or anywhere there was a marriage preparation or already married conferences, and we'll talk about it. Again, we also engage in the rigorous 3 months premarital coaching, premarital counseling in our church. And right from the very first year of our marriage, we had discussed and instilled some of the systems that we will be sharing with you in this to let you know what you need to do with the premarital couples. And from the year one of our marriage, we already had a minutes book for our family meeting. And then when we talk to it up to people, they are like, it's not that serious. Which one are you keeping minutes? Is this technical? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, because marriage is that important. You go to your workplace, you do weekly meetings, you do quarterly reviews, you do end of the year appraisal. You don't do that in your marriage. How do you now expect to measure what's happening? So I'm going to be introducing you to a blueprint that is not only based on research, it is also based on the work we have done with couples, because as we keep working with couples and we are seeing loopholes, we're trying to say, how do we help them articulate these loopholes early in their marriage, and also from our own lived experience. Again, the blueprint is infused with positive psychology because we believe that relationships is, of course, research has shown that relationships is the most significant singular contribution to a person's well-being and happiness. And so some positive psychology interventions are also embedded in this blueprint. This blueprint also has the mechanism of professional mediation. where you help the couple themselves mediate cases in their marriage, even without knowing, where they're able to listen to each other. So permit me to introduce you to this blueprint one after the other, because the three pillars of the blueprint and how you can integrate that into premarital. I might be a bit faster because there's a lot to talk about, but I will pause at once I finish talking about each of the pillar, and then I want to listen to you or read from you, share how that is resonating with you. So if there are members of your team, your friends who are supposed to be here and they are not here, please tell them to come in right now, because this is that blueprint that you have been secretly praying for, because you want to do better in the work that you're doing. So like I said, what it takes to build a marriage, it's either these people who are suffering in marriages or who do not have a strong foundation are ignorant of these three pillars. That for a couple to continue, remember, you keep hearing me say continue, because keeping a flourishing marriage is not a one-time thing, it's a continuous growth. That is why you see each of the pillar is represented in the continuous tense: being, building, co-created. That it takes three things. And when you see a couple enjoying their marriage, having a fulfilling sense of being together, it's either they have discovered these pillars, have worked on them, are working on them, are refining them, are reassessing them, everything it takes to enjoy a flourishing marriage can be put into these three pillars. So what are those three pillars? Number one is the flourishing you. It takes a flourishing person to build a flourishing marriage. What does it mean to be flourishing? I'll talk more about it. That when you come to premarital, you don't just jump into teaching the spouses relationship building techniques. You first of all check if the human being before you is truly a human being. If this human being has the capacity to love and be loved, if this human being has the capacity to communicate like the God that they are, if this human being has the capacity to be everything that a human being can be. Because see, many people have lost their humanness, but they don't know it. You don't even know it if you don't do the deeper work with them. Because a good person may find a wounded person and they will struggle. So the first pillar of effective premarital is helping the individual discover themselves, helping them notice if there are areas in their lives that are stolen their identity, and then helping them get back into their core self so that they can continue to be a desirable person, first to themselves before their spouses. Because sometimes I ask people, can you marry yourself? And they start laughing, because that is critical. If you cannot marry yourself, how then do you want another person to be able to marry you? Very critical question. If you can't marry yourself, how does another person marry you? And so some even do not know that they don't like themselves, but they are just trying to check the box of marriage because it is something that society says they should do. So you first of all help the person come to a place of flourishing. Then, when these two human beings are now in their right place as the gods that they are, remember our conversation yesterday, I said to you that the biggest challenges that I have seen young people face in marriage preparation, it's first being disconnected with their core self. Secondly, not being able to notice the red flags in their relationships. And thirdly, not having the courage to walk away. And all these three things has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with the individual. So when I'm talking, you're talking to young people and you're asking them, oh, when it comes to marriage, what do you want in a marriage? Oh, everybody knows what they want in Mr. Right. Are you aware that the rightest human being can get married to a wounded person and they would never be able to find a fulfilling marriage? Because it takes two to tango. So it's not about beaming the searchlight on others. That's why at the academy, when we do our Mr. and Mrs. Right on how to choose the person right for you, we come back to say to them, find out if you're the right person first. Because if you're not the right person, you can't even choose. So I'll show you the things you will do with them at that point. So when you have started work on the individual, you now move to the people. Two good people can get married and the marriage will be miserable because they are both good individuals, but they are not good together. So that's why sometimes when I'm talking with parents and they're like, oh, my child is wants to get married. I want a responsible man, somebody who has a good job, somebody who attends church, somebody blah, blah, blah. And I just smile because the good man might want something different in life from what your daughter wants, and they get married, they will still be miserable. So your premarital process must have a way of making can two work together unless they agree. A system of checking for compatibility is not a quote. Amos 3:3 is a system for premarital preparation. You don't just quote it, you systemize it. How do you know if the two can work together? Is to check their level of agreeability. And when you are saying level of agreeability, what are the markers? What are the indicators that will tell you if those two people have sufficient agreeability that can make them work together? That can make them work together. Ngoma, you will get, if you want to register for the next batch starting in September, you will get access to the modules when classes start. So the onboarding process would happen at once, and I'll share more details as I continue. But I want to establish what those pillars are so that you get to understand what it is that you're going to be trained on, okay? So yes, if you make full payment, you can join the September batch, but we would give you access to the modules when we are onboarding the class. But don't worry, you have a 1-year access to it that gives you the room to still check in. So permit me to talk about it when I get there, okay? Thank you. And so you need to have processes in place for helping them build a team-centered mindset. I will also share some of those agreeability indicators that you should be checking. And it's not just checking to say, hey, your agreeability is very low, this marriage will not work. No, that's not what it is that your role is. It's to let them know, because they might be ignorant. They might not even know that they are at that level. And so when you notice the gaps through the process you take them through, your work is now to coach them to increase their agreeability, because if they don't do that, two will suffer to work together. But also, like I said yesterday, you might get to the point where they realize that neither of them, they are very, very, the agreeability is at a very minimal level. Some of these happen in relationships where people refer people and they don't even get to know themselves, or where people just want to get married because, oh, I feel I'm getting older, I feel this, I feel that, but you get to, sometimes they realize that, what, we can't even get to the baseline agreeability. So it might as well be that we end this now. Some will still decide, oh, we're going to push it on, but then when marriage hits, they begin to see the loopholes. But the good thing is, if they have done a thorough premarital with you and you have showed them how to check the gaps and what to do, they can still begin to attend to that even after you are gone, or now have a very expanded awareness why they needed to speak to those issues, because now they're seeing the gaps that it is creating for them. Then the third thing, okay, these two people, they are at a level of agreeability, at a level of flourishing, and then they are checking if their level of agreeability and it's something that they are working on. How do they do life together? How will they meet the day-to-day demands of married life such that it doesn't even swallow their intimacy, such that it doesn't even overwhelm them, that they lose their individuality? That is where you begin to take them through the third pillar, co-creating flexible family systems, to say, okay, I'm good, I'm authentic, I understand my individuality, I have willingly agreed to build a partnership with you. We have looked at the different marriage sustainability factors and where we are. But hey, let's discuss, how are we going to do this life? What's our methodology for our family? How are we going to do money? How are we going to do communication? How are we going to do our governance system? How are we going to do that? Those are conversations you start them on from premarital, so they already have a framework for those conversations going forward. They may not exhaust all of the conversation with you, but you have shown them a blueprint. You have shown them how to build a family that is not just talk, but it is intentional, strategic systems and corresponding structures that will give them. Frank, please stay on the call. I'm still talking. When I get to speaking on the individual pillar, you would see what that means. Okay, so that's just the summary of the flourishing marriage blueprint. And I've tried to give in brief what each of those blueprints is about. So let's take them one pillar at a time. And I'm going to be looking, the first pillar of effective premarital counseling is you working on the individuals. And what are some of the things you do with the individual? Whether you like it or not, people that come to you may be standing behind masks. A lot of people are wearing masks that they don't even know they're wearing. They think it's their real self talking, but they don't know it could be trauma based. They don't know whether it's the little child who was fearful of an aggressive father that comes into a relationship and is a people pleaser. They don't know if it was a child who heard some things that were said that made them feel unwanted, that brought them here, and they are seeking for validation. They don't even know if there are people who are afraid of intimacy. Different things. So your first primary work in premarital is to help your clients take off the mask and reveal their real self and open up the authentic self, so that they are sure that they are getting into this marriage as whole people. And how do we do that? With this blueprint, the first thing we do in premarital, that if you take on this blueprint, you should also be able to do with your clients, is first of all, when they sign up for premarital, you take them through personal harmony checks. You help them evaluate their level of life satisfaction, because some people get married to escape sadness. But then marriage will not fix your sadness if you don't fix your sadness yourself, because marriage is not a therapy room. Rather, the short-lived experience will burn off soon and the real thing still continues. So you have to be able to check, where are they in their personal lives? They might feel that they are ready for marriage, but you need to help them assess their marriage readiness. And one of the things we'll also do with them is also to check, where are you mentally? So that you know if you are somebody who is capable of going on this journey. Because we know that everyone is a reflection of the things that have happened to them. Who I am today has markers of how I was raised. The earliest experience I know about family was from my family. So if I grew up in a loving family where my emotions were validated, where my parents taught me how to resolve conflicts, where I could be vulnerable and not shouted at, where there was that sense of safety, that is the mindset I'm going to have around relationship, unless maybe something happens that hurts me. And then we all do relationship based on our upbringing, our environment, our experiences. And these things can unconsciously be patterns for us. So you have to help them see, do you have any trauma or unresolved pain from childhood experiences or from other emotional experiences that is informing your perception about love, that is informing your perception about marriage, that is informing your perception even about your self-worth? And you need to have tools in place that dictate this so that you can help them address it. Then in the personal harmony checks, we even take family dynamics even deeper. You need to be able to help a man who is a middle-born child understand how being middle-born in his family has impacted him and will continue to impact his relationship either positively or negatively until he becomes aware of it and begins to make changes. There is dynamics of being a first child. There's a dynamic of being a middle child. There's a dynamic of being a last-born, an only child, a only sex child in a family. Take, for example, you are from a family, you are the only son, you have 4 sisters. The way you see relationship will be different from a man who comes from a family that had 3 brothers and 1 sister. What process do you have in your premarital to help them see that influence? Our parents are the first introduction to love and family and safety and intimacy. Whether we like it or not, the love atmosphere in our parents also impacts how we do relationship. So you want to be able to help them know, what's your attachment style? Are you somebody that is anxiously attached? Are you somebody that anxiously attached, and because of that, you're people pleasing, you're clinging, even when things are not going your way, you avoid confrontation because you don't want to hurt the person? You can't take that into marriage because it's going to sabotage your individuality and further eat up your self-worth. Or are you somebody that is avoidantly attached because you grew up in a home where your parents were not available, they were not responsive? And so you began to feel like, you know what, love, let me keep away from love. So even if you're in a relationship, you are not present. You're so distant. It's so hard for you to be emotionally vulnerable. That is not normal. If you struggle with emotional vulnerability and you want to get married, your premarital must help you identify the roots of that and begin you on a process of healing it. Because if you don't heal attachment trauma, it's still going to impact you. And guess what? Attachment trauma could even be making you sign up to get engaged to somebody you should keep at arm's length. But you don't know all of that. So your process must be able to help them know, what's my love concept? How did I become this person who is fearful? This person who fears abandonment? This person who fears rejection? This person who feels unjust? This person, whatever it is. So we look at the different emotional wounds with them, emotional wounds of rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice, and help them to see the mask that they are wearing because of such wounds, if they are present, and then begin them on the journey of taking away the mask so that they can see their true self. After you've done this personal harmony checks with them, you want to also now help them reconnect to the authentic self. Are you aware that there are 35-year-olds? I'm just using 35 randomly. I just want you to know they are adults. They are still adults in their 50s that cannot assert themselves, that do not have the courage to say no, even when everything in their mind is screaming no. You think it's healthy? No, it's not. Until a man heals his wounds and reconnects back to his authentic self, he will continue to show up in life as a facade, as somebody who cannot stand for himself. And that's one, sometimes you see people, oh, you're talking with them now that they are married, and they're saying, oh, I saw this signs, oh, this thing she has been doing, I never liked it. And you're like, why didn't you address it when you were dating? Ah, I didn't know how to bring it up. Ah, I didn't know. And you're like, you didn't get married at 17. You got married at 28. You got married at 30. You got married at 32, and you could not speak your mind? No, there is something fundamentally wrong there. And that's why you want to help them reconnect back to their authentic self, because you have taken away that mask. Now they are comfortable in being who they are. So you want to be able to help them reconnect to their strengths. Everybody is strong in a different way. But when you don't know your strengths, and interestingly, a lot of people who have gone through premarital counseling in the Start Your Marriage Right Academy, many of them say that the session on misuse of strengths was very impactful on them, because you see somebody who is like honest. Honesty is a strength for, but do you know that you can misuse honesty and sabotage your relationship? Spirituality may be a strength for you, but you can misuse spirituality and make the person in your relationship feel like the devil. Even love, you can misuse love and then be stifling the person in your life, and they will walk away because they are choking. You're not allowing them a breather. So strengths being good can be used in ways that it sabotages either you or your relationship. And when you expose them to this, they're like, wow, no wonder this happened. No wonder that happened, right? Of course, you can't be authentic without knowing what drives you. Every one of us has a personal compass. And I feel that no premarital coaching process should be complete without helping the individuals reconnect to their personal values. I'm telling you from experience of over 20 years in the field, it will be a struggle to marry someone you don't know their values. It will be a struggle to do life with someone you don't know what drives the decisions they make. Sometimes I'm listening to couples in therapy, and then I'm asking them, what's your spouse's top three values? And the person goes, I think. And then I asked the partner who is being described, and classical case, I got that even very recently when I was doing a consultation call. And the man was like, I don't think it's me she's talking about, because all of the three top values she mentioned are not even in my top five. And these people have been married for 15 years and they're having issues in their relationship because of value clash, because somebody feels that their values are being trampled on and are not honored. And these people went through premarital and probably have been attending one marriage enhancement program or the other. At the basic of the authenticity of a human being are their values. And so in your premarital, you must have a process of helping the individuals identify their values and explain their top three values to their partner in the as what it means to them. Because authenticity is my number one value. What it means to me may be what it means to, it may be different from what it means to the other person. And so it's not enough for my husband to assume that he knows what authenticity means. I need to tell him what authenticity means to me, so that when I'm making life choices and decisions in a way to be authentic, he understands why I'm doing that. And for my partner, whose number one value in life is excellence, I need to understand what excellence means to him, such that when we are doing life together, in my interactions with him, I will strive to honor excellence, and he will also strive to honor authenticity for me. That's how we can do life together. So we help them do that, and we help them also understand love for themselves and understand what their love codes are. The highlight of this pillar, when you deploy it in premarital, is getting the people to design what we call their intimacy playbook. Intimacy is taken from the word intimacy, because to build intimacy with someone is first an invitation from you for the person to see into you. But how do you invite a spouse to see into you if, first of all, you don't take off your mask so that you can be vulnerable to share your strengths, your weaknesses, your struggles, your scandals? Because if you are still trying to be perfect, it just means that you have not yet healed. That is why shame is still present. So you see why we don't begin them on building intimacy until we're able to take away that thing causing them shame? And then when some people don't even know themselves deep enough. So the intimacy playbook, which we call the Know Me Better, Love Me Better playbook, talks about the things that the people have not even imagined. You talk about your love code. You talk about excuse me, your turn-offs. They talk about how they like to be apologized to, how they like to communicate, their money habits. They talk about their honor code, how you want your partner to honor you. They talk about their dream list, their wish list. It goes on and on, because some of the people who have gone through this say that even creating their own intimacy playbook helped them to know themselves. Somebody was like, I'm meeting myself. It's been a long time I saw this part of me, because the person has shut off that part of them because they're just being in survival mode. They're just trying to keep their head above water. They're just trying to navigate this life of shame, this life of emptiness. But because they have been put on a process of rebuilding their authenticity, now with help, with the templates given, they dare to see themselves and also to share with their partner, this is me, oh. And then the partner is saying, there are some things I'm learning here that I've never known. Meanwhile, these people have dated 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, but they never saw this part of their partner because their partner was so ashamed of that part that they couldn't share it with them. But when they are able to take off their mask and begin their journey of healing, now they can let their partners into their true self. And that was what I was saying to you yesterday. It's at this point we now ask them, why do you want to get married? And why do you want to get married to this person? Because now the scales are falling down their eyes. They are no more fighting for love as a way of validation. They have now come to themselves that they themselves are complete. And so what I'm looking for in a partner is a companion, not somebody to complete me. And now they begin to look, okay, so why do I want to get married? And why do I want to get married to this person? So that they reassess if really they are ready to jump on that boat. That is only when you can begin to talk to them about building partnership. So in essence, an effective premarital must first be a journey of self-discovery for the individuals, leading them to deeper self-awareness and self-acceptance. You can be aware, but if you don't accept yourself, you can't open up the real authentic you. And self-acceptance comes from healing. Self-acceptance comes from recognizing and dealing with emotional trauma. Self-acceptance comes from reconnecting back to this is me, my strengths, my flaws, my scandals, and all of that, because you get to expose that part of you to yourself and to your partner when you're creating your intimacy playbook. So you see how doing a thorough work in this first pillar already tackles what I call the three biggest challenges that young people have in marriage preparation. Number one, being disconnected to the authentic self. This pillar helps them connect to the authentic self. Number two, being able to detect red flags. This pillar helps them be authentic so that even when the red flags are there, they're not clinging onto love. They're not clinging onto the relationship as if without it, they are no more. They know that they can exist without that person, but they are choosing to build a partnership with such a person so that when we move them to pillar two, and the partnership is not partnering, they are now number three, courageous enough to speak up for themselves and courageous enough to walk away if the partnership is absent and there are signs that the other partner is not willing to build it. Let me tell you something, and it breaks my heart, because when people are in marriage, you see one partner who wants to work on the marriage. The one partner is the one showing up, doing all of this work. I tell you, one person is not enough to make a marriage work. It takes two to tango, which is why when I'm teaching, how do I know that this person is, my relationship is marriage ready? In addition to the things that I tell them to watch out for, I also tell them to watch out for, is this partner showing signs of willingness to be with you? You don't force people to love you. Don't drag an unwilling person into marriage, because every individual has to be personally responsible to do the work required. So if the sign is that this person is not, he doesn't want to be with you, maybe it's their mother that introduced you, their pastor that introduced you, and you are seeing that this person is not showing signs they want you, don't move that relationship forward. Another thing I tell them to check out for, is this person willing to learn and grow? You see, teachability. If you see the signs that a person is set in their ways, feels that nobody can teach them anything, this is who I am, if you have to accept me the way I am, and they don't make any effort to learn and grow, please run away, because you will struggle in that relationship. And no matter the solo work you do on your own, it can't do the work, because marriage is not a solo sport, right? But if you're not courageous to do that, it is because there's something about your flourishing self that is wanting. So it is only now that we move them to the second pillar. So I want to quickly take the second pillar and then we take a pause. So team members, please, Ayobami, send me a personal message. I need to know how many more minutes I have before the interlude, because you know this thing can be sweeting me. I go talk till tomorrow, but I don't want to go beyond time. All right. So I'll appreciate if you just send me a personal message to know how many minutes I have more before the next thing. Okay. So after pillar one, you now move them to pillar two. Okay. Now that you're on the journey of self-discovery, you've become more self-aware, you are becoming more self-accepting. Let's now see, can two work together? And this is where you now again check their team harmony checks. You test for their marriage ideology alignment. You don't assume that because, oh, both of them came to church, they understand the same thing about marriage. No. What does marriage mean to you? It's not a simple question that you need to hear them describe what marriage means to them. so that you see if these two people are headed in the same direction. So for the person who asked, how do you check alignment? I'm taking you through the things you need to do to check alignment. All right. So you check for their marriage ideology alignment, and they begin to we put it as a system. They describe what it is. You begin to look at the commonalities of what marriage means to both of them. If there are terms that one of them has used in their description that the other wants further explanation on, they need to explain so that their partner knows. And then we get them to harmonize their marriage ideology so that in this marriage we are going together, this is what we have chosen to be what marriage means to us as a team. Because guess what? It is based on their shared marriage ideology that you now begin to check other things. This marriage that you say you are building, let's now check how your beliefs align with it. Let's now check the kind of marriage values that you need to have as a team such that that marriage ideology becomes a reality. Let's now check your marriage expectations and the different 13 areas of marriage expectation embedded in this blueprint is also based on research. And then when they begin to talk about their marriage expectations, you see that both of them have different expectations. Somebody expects something about house chores, the other expects the other. It's not enough to say, oh, we are Africans. We already know what house chores mean. No, 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 no. Assumption is the mother of frustration. And so even you, the premarital coach, should not base any of the things you're doing with your premarital clients on assumption. Bring it down. And this is where you begin to normalize for them that they get, you see, we all agree that communication is very important for marriage, right? It is in premarital that the couples learn how to have hot conversations. And good enough, because you are there and you're trained, you can moderate those hot conversations. Because I've seen the conversations around marriage expectation turn to a fight. But it's a fight that should be had now because the fight will still come up in marriage. So if they don't have the fight now, and you are there to moderate it for them, and you are there to let them know that this fight is not that you people have scattered, though, it is you now teach them how to fight. Do you know that if a couple learn how to fight early on, they have scratched one of the jokers of a fulfilling marriage? Because they will learn not to hide their feelings. They will learn how to express themselves politely. They will learn how to sit on a matter till they come to a win-win situation. They will learn how to compromise, but it is best that they are learning it with you as a third party. So these conversations are not always rosy. They can end up in argument. They can disagree, but it's important that they have it. With you there. So as you're checking this team harmony checks, I talked a lot about beliefs yesterday, so I wouldn't want to repeat that. But if you check their beliefs on the critical areas of marriage, remember the beliefs, what you believe about a thing will influence how you behave towards it and will ultimately give you the result that validates that belief. So two people who want to work together, two people who want to work together must know what their beliefs are. So imagine for a moment, let me give two examples and I'll move on. Imagine for a moment you're working with a premarital couple, right? And one of them believes that is the role of the husband is the breadwinner, and the other does not believe that. Do you know that that is going to cause issues in their finances? If you're doing premarital with a couple, one of them believes that, oh, a husband is superior to the wife, and the other does not believe. Do you know that that is going to cause issues in their relationship? What about money? One of them believes that, oh, my money is for everyone. Oh. The other believes, no, my money is my money. And you don't have any process to check those beliefs. They are going to have money issues because their beliefs around money will influence how they act around money. Their beliefs around superiority will influence how they act. So you need to check their beliefs around the core things that make marriage work so that you are sure that these people are ready to can two work together. I want to drop something here as I'm moving on. Excuse me. And that is to say, I talked yesterday about us dropping religious quotes without giving them a system for implementation. And one of such quotes we also drop is, oh, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So both of you are faith believing, tongue speaking, spirit filled, and that is good. Because I have a whole thesis I can write on the place of spiritual intimacy in marriage. But hey, it's not enough. Two tongue-speaking, demon-chasing Christians can get married and be miserable if the only beliefs that is compatible between them is their spiritual beliefs. They are going to still fight over other things that are not incompatible. So do not just narrow your compatibility check. Do not just narrow your compatibility check on just spiritual beliefs. You need to check their beliefs across other things. All right. So when we do that, we now move on. You begin to evaluate what energy are they bringing to this relationship? What's their level of chemistry? Because see, marriage is the most intimate expression of intimacy. So even from when you are starting, there is no chemistry. There is no excitement. They are going to be boring couples. And nobody should get married to be in a boring marriage, because marriage is meant to be enjoyed. So you check for their level of chemistry. And then where you see gaps, there's an assessment that we make them take. So if it is low chemistry, low compatibility, there are things, interventions you have to recommend to them. But it's not also enough, because you can have all the passion in your relationship, but if your compatibility in terms of shared beliefs, shared values, aligned life priorities is low, you might be enjoying passion, but soon the quarrels and the disagreements they will have over practical things can quench that passion. So you don't neglect chemistry, you don't also neglect compatibility. You help them to see where are they on both, how low, how high is it, and then there are interventions to help them increase it. Then, of course, we talk about medical compatibilities, because this is also an area that is neglected. Then we look at their relationship submission and friendship factor. Critical, friendship is the glue that keeps marriages. With friendship, you would be eager to resolve conflicts much more than with a friend, than with somebody that is just a roommate. That is somebody that is just married but is an acquaintance at your heart level. So you evaluate their friendship, you teach them strategies that they can use to build their friendship, and also the submission factor. Very critical. We begin to take them through practical communication and conflict repair strategies. And like I said, this blueprint is heavy on proactivity. So they get to design how they want to handle conflicts even before it happens. And should a conflict escalate, they will also decide how they want to de-escalate it. They will also create their communication codes that if a conflict is getting tense, when I say this or when I do this, that is my cue to say, I can't do this anymore. And they co-agree that they will honor that code. So they could be outside with friends and somebody feels that the partner is misyanning. He just says a code that the friends don't understand. And the partner is under this agreement, supposed to take in that code and stop that line of conversation, because it's already triggering their partner adversely. All right. So this is what you do with them to check their level of agreeability, because an effective PMC must highlight incompatibilities If you fail to do this, you are not helping them build their level of agreeability. You are not helping them start off their marriage at a foundation for sustainability. So you need to check for their incompatibilities in their life priorities, in their beliefs, in their values. And not only that, provide them with opportunities for alignment with those things, and then give them frameworks for relationship building skills, for example, conflict resolution. I want to quickly take this before we move on. Permit me, Ayobami. And so, like I said, you need to create a foundation in premarital for people to have hot conversations. They should be comfortable after you have reconnected them to the authenticity to have hot conversations about the things that turn them off in their partner. Does the person chew loudly and you are embarrassed, but you've not had the courage to talk about it? This presents you the opportunity. Do they pick their nose? Do they do some of those habits that you find offensive? But what if I say it now? You give them a framework to say it. What are their deal breakers? What are the things that would hurt them? What are even some secrets that they keep? Do you know that as a premarital coach, you are a safe space for your clients to discuss secrets that they are scared to discuss with their partner, and you help them with how to handle it? Whether it is how to guide them to expose it to their partner or what to do. Because in this framework, you also get each other to say, what are those kind of things that if it is kept secret to you and you later discover it, how will that impact you? And by the time you assess what they're saying, you now know if a secret somebody is keeping is material to be kept, and see how to moderate it, or should be reviewed because it has potential of crashing the relationship. But tell me how you get a man to share a secret with you if you have not first helped the man deal and understand shame. Then, of course, their expectations, and then, of course, they map their relationship health. This is one thing that will make a difference in your premarital. Like I said, one of the mistakes I talked about yesterday was us assuming that we know what the couples need. This coaching tool helps you to avoid that. Remember, you are not the person getting married, and the couple are not getting married to you. So you want to just say, oh, this is what I know makes marriage work. With this tool, you get both of them to say what are the 5, 10 things that they think will make their marriage work, so that it is coming from them and not from you. Of course, there will be things there that you already know, but even allow them autonomy. Again, if you missed yesterday, please go and watch it because I'm trying to connect yesterday. I told you that this blueprint is embedded with the 4 components of motivation. And this one too helps you to allow them autonomy to decide for themselves. This marriage we want to build, these are the essentials that we think we need in the marriage. And then there's a system with which we do it, but they get to now plot their wheel of marital bliss. So say, for example, Labaja is the incoming couple, and both of them have said, oh, these are the things that makes marriage work. You get them to say, right now in your relationship, where you are at, how satisfied are you with how romance is? This is not a generic will. I'm using an example. How satisfied are you with all these things? And they plot their will. And you as the coach is now letting them know, look at this will. If this is the will that is supposed to take you into marital bliss, and we are here discussing how to build a strong foundation, how successfully can this will take you? Now, is it me telling them the gaps in their relationship? Or the system by itself exposes to them where they need to do critical work if their foundation is going to be strong? I need somebody who understands how this coaching tool helps them take autonomy and take responsibility for the growth they need. If you have caught it, come to the chat room and give me a thumbs up. Because many of us are used to talking at the people, but what systems do you have in place to help them see where the gaps are that they need to work on? Because eventually, an effective PMC must equip the intending couple with problem-solving skills and working tools to review their relationship periodically and create self-initiated action steps. And guess what? Even after they have left you, you are no more coaching them. This coaching tool that you have used with them, that you have taught them, they can use it themselves to review their relationship every 6 months, every 1 year. So they don't just do premarital with you and they don't have anything else. They can use this to assess where they are and still continue their growth journey, because you have taught them how to see the gaps and you will coach them on how to take action steps on it. I think I'm going to pause here and just get Ayobami next so that we can quickly move on to the next segment. But if these two pillars, you understand why it is very important in premarital, please come and tell me yes in the chat room as I hand over back to Ayobami.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, the amazing Coach Dima. Wow. Wow. Yes, we can hear a lot of yeses already going on there. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of people understand how this tool, is helpful, to their clients, and how that clients on their own can now start to use that even without it. So it means that when your clients come to you, you have a tool that you're even giving them as giveaway. Without you, they can help themselves. And that's amazing. Thank you. So being an alumni, I can already tell you for free that you haven't even scratched whatever you are hearing. You haven't even scratched the surface of what is about to happen to you if you sign up. There are a few alumni on the call, and I'm going to bring up somebody now who will share with us our experience, how attending the academy has changed our practice, has impacted, her. Motolani, are you there? Are you here?
We're right here.
Coach Motolani, good to have you. You look amazing. Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. Beautiful you. Wow.
Thank you.
And she happens to be my mentor at FSEC.
Oh.
Amazing. You're welcome, Ma. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I can go ahead, right?
Yes, please. Very well. Take it away.
Yes. Thank you so much, Coach Dima. Coach Dima has been my coach like forever, for about 8 years now. And it's been an amazing, amazing one. So when this came out, I knew that I didn't have a choice than to attend. And trust me, it's one of the most exciting things. And you would agree with me that a lot of people, if there are 10 marriages right now, about 8 of them are saying we have problems, there are issues, and we want to go our separate ways. And if we do not rise up to the occasion, if we are not rising up to help these people, in another 10 years, I'm trying to imagine what it is that we're teaching the next generation about marriage. And that is why this is very important. And when I take this training about a year or two now, it's been phenomenal. The kind of result that I get with people. You're no longer doing guesswork. The likely challenges that each of these couple would encounter in the course of their marriage, you're already helping them figure it out before they get into marriage. That even when they get into marriage, they're well prepared. They can go back to the lesson note that they got from you to say, this is what our coach has said. I can see Adiola Adebayo. I can see a lot of people on the call. They can always come back to say, if not for Adeni, if not for Adejoba, if not for, they will call your name and say, if not for this person, this marriage would not have lasted like this. The likely challenges that they're going to have, maybe the first 5 years, some people say when they get married, first 5 years is usually like this, and you've been able to help them. This course is one that I would encourage everyone who is truly passionate So if you're saying, I'm passionate about young people, I'm passionate about marriages working, I'm passionate about the future of Africa, knowing that with more marriages that work, they are able to learn, they're able to teach rather their children. And the children who are being raised from a good marriage would go on and give the world peace. But imagine that a marriage that is chaotic. What kind of children do you think that they will raise from that home? So we're calling you to join us. I am personally calling you to join the pool of practitioners who would ensure that Africa is a safe place again. This is not just about the couples that you're going to work with. This has ripple effects on our nation, Nigeria. This has a ripple effect on Africa as a continent. So it is important that you come learn the tools. I'm not going to give you my tools. I learned it from this training. You come and learn for yourself. But I can tell you that even for you, let me tell you one of the things that stood out for me. The tools that I learned from this class is something that even I used for my marriage. Sometimes we're working in class and Coach Dima says something. I'm like, even I didn't know this. I did not know this. For you to know that you could say, oh, I've been practicing, I have all the knowledge, I know it all. But in this particular training, there are certain things that even you will be able to use for your own marriage, practical things that would help your own marriage. So if you're on this call and you want to join me and other alumni to ensure that Africa is a safe place again, that Africa would be a place where we would say marriages work. I need you all to go into the chat room now and say, I. Go into the chat room and let me know who is joining us. Let us know the people who are going to be a part of the solution that Africa needs. Kenyola, amazing. Yes, I can see Ngoma, fantastic. Mabel, Betty, thank you. But Julius, thank you, Julius. Amazing. Evelyn, thank you. It is amazing. If we want to build an Africa that works, we all need to be able to do this. It has ripple effects on the kind of children. In 10 years and 20 years, let it be that we are part of the people who transformed Africa by ensuring that we work with single ladies, single guys who are trying to get married, and they are getting it right. Because when they get it right, they're able to build a good marriage, a beautiful marriage. They're able to raise amazing children who can go on in the world and ensure that we have a happy world. I can see everybody saying, me, I can't wait to have you on board. I'm sure Ayobami too cannot wait to have you on board. And Coach Dima, let me also tell you, one of the things you love about Coach Dima is she doesn't know how to withhold knowledge. No, she does not. She would pour out every tool and everything that has worked for her, that is producing the result. She will pour it, and she is a woman given to knowledge. She's taking a lot of certification. She's well read. So when you're coming to Kodima, it's not just somebody who did one certification. She understands this thing back like the back of her palm. So take it from me when I say Kojima is also my coach. And what else? What else do you want? So
Thank
please,
you
if you
so
are
much.
not already telling me that you're joining us, go there right now and let me know that you're joining us. Admin, I hope that you can see all the people who are saying, I. Please drop the link. Let them join in already. We are the future of Africa and we need to do this. If you allow me, like Ojima, I will talk to you tomorrow. So I will answer you.
Thank you so much, Coach Mutolani. So good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing. Thank you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yes, keep saying it. I'm in, I'm in. Yes, yes, yes. Because the work is plenty. Another sweet thing about Coach Dima that she didn't mention is that she's very detailed. She's very detailed. So what you're going to get is going to blow your mind off. You haven't seen anything as organized as that before. I promise you that. I mean, my name is out there. So you can look for me and come and say, oh, you told us a lie, right? Amazing. Okay, so I have another skilled, right? Because she has also attended this course. So I can freely say she's skilled because she's been trained. Another knowledgeable coach, coming to share with us, our experience at the academy. and how that has impacted our practice. Coach Deborah, are you here? Coach Deborah
Yes, I am.
You're welcome, Ma. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. So can I go ahead?
Yes, please take it away.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here. All right. So let me start by saying my journey into counseling, really. Many of us started with passion. Oh, I have passion for this thing, and then when we are knowledgeable, as it were, perhaps you are in the faith, right? And you know Bible here and there, you can quote scriptures, and you feel that, oh, you need to guide people on how to have good marriages here and there and all of that. All right. So many of us started that way, not that perhaps I can say few went into uni to study counseling, but it all started with passion. And then I felt that, oh, I cannot continue this passion without knowledge. All right. So I began my search. Who can give me accurate knowledge on how to fuel this passion and all of that? And, I came across Coach Dima's course. And I'm like, what? So, at times we know these things and, we just tell people this is how it's meant to be. At times we enforce this knowledge on them, not knowing that, when we look at the Holy Book, Paul began to say, the things I want to do, I find myself not doing them. And you are wondering that, how come? And I believe that many people are in this stage, that the things they want to do, they find themselves not being able to do them. And when you get into this course, you realize that there are tools that will reveal you to you. Firstly, as a coach, there are tools that will reveal you to you. I was in a program yesterday, and the person mentioned 3 things, and that is the summary of this coaching program for me. This program is going to reveal you to you, is going to refine you, and is going to restore you. I bet it with you, starting with you as a coach. And you are in the class, you are learning, and you are like, oh, so this is why I behave how I behave. Coach Diba began to talk about some strengths, right? And you are realizing that, oh, I can see that I've been overusing this my strength, really. So you begin to realize some things. So as you are able to apply it to yourself, you are even eager to impact others with it. So I bet it with you, those that are coming for this program, they are going to be well fed. I bet it with you, when after the Holy Book that says precept upon precept, this coach is what I call line upon line, precept upon precept. Because you know what? This coach is not leaving anything unturned. When it comes to marriage, I did a live, right? I think some 2 weeks ago, concerning an aspect of this coaching program. And someone wrote me 2 days ago. I said, I sat my husband down. I went back to your video. And the person said, thank you. Thank you. And these people have been married for years. Now imagine that they are getting to learn now, and they're like, I need to go back. We need to start. We have not even started. And the person was like, please, can you do more of this? Right? And that is what this program is really going to give to you. So we are not focusing on only marriage. We are focusing on you. How healthy are you? So from the person to the system, everything, this program is really going to give it to you. And trust me, it's worth any amount that they are going to call. And believe you me, it's even affordable compared to the knowledge you are going to get. So I am like the person that spoke before me said, please, just go in there and get this knowledge. When she was talking about tool, I went again to look at the meaning of tool. And I believe someone that it is tool they are giving to us. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. It's high time we stop, throwing knowledge at people, but we help them, right, get results. We tell them how to do it, not what to do, but how to do it. Not what to do, but how to do it. Love your wife. That's an instruction. How do I love my wife? Submit to your husband. That's an instruction. But how do I submit? So this course, it will really break everything down. And trust me, I am very selective when it comes to course because I am a faith person. So when I'm able to align with a course, is that I can say that, yes, this is giving like a breakdown, right, of the instruction, and we are able to help people navigate it. Do you see? So when that scripture is saying, love your wife, some people are unable to love, maybe because of where they are coming from. And so this scripture is talking about before, as it was, as it is, and as it will be. That's just the summary. As it was, where you are coming from, where you are, and where you are going to. I bet it's not a course you want to miss. So please sign up, and sign up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Deborah. She kept saying scripture. I mean, it's a slip of tongue. It's this course. Oh, by their fruits you shall know them. Oh, glory. All right. So thank you so much, ma. Now we are plenty in this, and the work is plenty, is enormous. So we would love to have you join us so that we are able to cut down the number of people that will come on social media and be spewing nonsense. Right? It's time to put out the truth out there, knowledge, to put out power in people's hands, so that the hope of Africa, is hope again in the family life space. All right. So I'm going to be bringing out the third person now, so that from here, the flow continues. Do I have Coach Ijeoma on the line? Another competent. And notice the use of word. I said competent because these people have been trained. Coach Ijeoma, are you there? Coach
Yes,
Ijeoma.
please, I am.
Yes. Thank you. Good to have you. I can't see your face, but are you
Okay.
there somewhere? Okay. Please go ahead. Oh, good evening, Ma.
Good evening,
Ma.
everyone. Thank you so
Good to
much
have
for
you
this
here.
opportunity to
All right.
share my journey
Yes.
and what the Academy has helped me to achieve. My name is Ijeoma Mokwe. I actually study guidance and counseling as my core course. So, as a faith-based person, because as I was going on my journey, the Lord directed me that I should go into marriage counseling. So I've started and I've done so many. But when I came across with this Coach Dima's program, in fact, I was the person that was saying the buzz was too much. The hype was too much. So are you sure the hype, because the way it is being hyped, I was like, what are you saying? Are you sure that all this hype, we are going to get value? And to be frank, by the time we started the course, by the time we are going through the study, I saw that even half of it was not mentioned. And like, I'm trying to be authentic here. I know that I'm not here to come and say anything that's not what it is. So, the course, first of all, my marriage, by the way, is 32 years. I celebrated 32 years on 21st of this August. So you can imagine, but going through the course, it opened my eyes. I've seen so many people, because when she said, two cannot work together except they agree, that's the scripture we quote every day, but we really do not know what it means. So that's why I also see some people that are Christians, they marry also, and they are having some little issues because the foundation was not really built well. So this course help couples to align their beliefs, help them to align their value, help them to do so many other things. It has actually helped me a lot. And I know if he helped me, someone whose marriage is 32 years,
What about, and it is majorly for those that are standing, people that are starting afresh, so that they can build their foundation very, very well. So what am I going to say to you? If you are there, you are a minister of the gospel. Honestly, you have a church, or you are the GO of your church, or you have I will ask you that, first of all, come and take the course. You are going to see the benefit. Then you need to also bring your counselors, other ministers, for them to be trained. Why am I advocating for this? Marriage is the foundation. Family is the foundation of success of any community, even the church. If the church is going to be what it ought to be, if the community, the society is going to have people that have human face and they are going to relate with you, at all of us need to heal from our past hurts, get it right from the foundation of marriage. You know, it's very difficult to rebuild a broken. So sometimes when you have gotten into marriage, a lot of marriage, one of our speakers, one of our alumni just said 80% of the people are saying, I want to get out. And so many are not even trying to marry because they don't know what they are going to meet in the marriage. But with this proven strategy and system, it is something that you will know what you're going to get, even from the beginning. And you will be able to say, oh, this is going to work, or it is not going to work. You will be the person that you are the driver, you are on the seat, you tell yourself how far. And of course, these things we are saying here, or the things where you learn those tools, is actually not going so. Because I don't tell people to leave your marriage, but it will help you to heal. No matter the level of you are in your marriage, no matter the level, or whatever things you are saying, because some of us are just cohabiting, we are not enjoying the marriage. But it's going to help you to heal as an individual, help you to align with your spouse so that you can have the same vision, have the same purpose, and also extend it to your children. And thereby, the society, the church, and everybody will be whole and live happily. Of course, there is this thing that the Bible says. It said a particular man who saw a particular, he saw a field and did not the field has a lot of treasure. So what did he do? He sold everything he had, came and bought that field because of the treasure. That's exactly what I'm going to tell you to do this night. Whatever it will cost you, come and get into this program, and let me know those that want to get into the program. Tell us in the comment section that we are getting on right now, because it has a lot of treasures. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for it. Feels like how we go from door to door preaching Jesus, because it's just clean good news. Like so you see that from our hearts to you, we're encouraging. There's nothing like it. Just forget it. Whether you have been a coach before or you're just starting out, you don't even know anything about what we're saying or whatever. It's done for you. You don't need any. Just sit down and follow the whatever. You're already a pro. It's as simple as that, right? You are climbing on the shoulders of Coach Dima and Coach Nedum, to continue the work. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to be bringing on the visionary herself, Coach Dima, so that she can keep, we can draw some more from our well of wisdom. You're welcome, Ma.
Thank you so. I'm by myself, so I was looking for myself. Thank you, Ayobami, for that. Usually it would have been my co-founder and my partner in bliss taking this session, but he's unavoidably absent today. And then I am going to continue. And that's one of the things we're grateful for, that we are in this vision together. So I can step in for him and he can step in for me. So he's usually the one, we call him the Odogwu of family systems, because all of his personality, first of all, his training and his experience building business systems is what over 25 years is what we brought in, and also combining with our combined expertise to create the systems. And like I said, from the first year of our marriage, we had the systems in place. And then, of course, with learning, we have refined them. So I'll just quickly share that with you, and then we will move on to other things. I see that some of you are itching. Oh, how do I take this training? Is there a discount? You've not even seen the beauty of this training yet. So just stay with me. By the time I tell you the beauty of it, you will be blown away. Like literally, like Ayobami said, just show up, take the training, take the framework, and go and do your work. Because everything you need to do with your premarital counseling clients, we have broken it down module by module. Not only that, we have also created a facilitator's handbook where you know each module, this is the objective, this is what you're doing with them, this is the exercises. So it's like a complete done for you. You don't need, you literally do not do anything, but to hand over that blueprint and the framework to you, we have to train you so that you understand how to use it. So whether you have done premarital before, you've been doing, but you know you don't have a system, you don't have a structure, wait till I show you what this has for you. But before that, let's talk about the last pillar. The last pillar. So I'll just quickly move through this. When you think about marriages, and please come to the chat room, let's come back together in this learning atmosphere. Why do you think marriages struggle in their early years? Be frank with me. I need your responses. Why do you think marriages struggle in the first 1 year? So I think Ngoma has paid. Please, admin, confirm for me if Ngoma is the first person to pay from this webinar. If Ngoma is Nwango Ngoma, I have a gift for you. I will announce the gift for you later. But I need to confirm that you are the first person who has made payment in this webinar so that you can win that gift. Noella says not understanding themselves. Fembry says pretense. Talk to me, talk to me. Admin, please share the link. Bolanle, we have been sharing the link on how to sign up. So I guess Ngoma clicked on the link and went there. Once you click on the link and go there, it's self-explanatory. You see what you can pay if you are paid once. If you want to pay part payment, you also see what to pay. So the link is there. You will see somebody named me sharing the link. So just click on that link. But let's continue. So somebody said relationship build on fantasy, management of funds, and all of that. Yes, everything you're saying it's important, and we can bring it all together. Even when you have helped your premarital counselors to get to an authentic self, you help them align their agreeability. It's important that you help them quickly begin to discuss the methodology that they will use in their marriage, right? Bishop says because they didn't take premarital sessions seriously. Yeah, but more than that, it's also what was the premarital sessions doing for them? Because some of them have heard stories from their friends who did premarital and say, I beg you, they go just they read for you. So it's also, if the premarital sessions become more effective and transformational, then many of them, because see, this is our work. Word of mouth is the cheapest advertisement. And somebody will only blow your trumpet. You heard when Ijoma came on, she said, people were just hyping about this academy. People were hyping about the course. And she's like, is this course going to meet the hypes? And you heard from her that even the hype did not cover what the course did for her. So if premarital sessions become more transformational, trust me, you will be tired of having sessions because your good work is what people will be talking about and be bringing clients to you. So in helping them plan their methodology, that brings us to the third pillar, co-creating effective, flexible family systems. And when you talk about creating family systems, these are the 10 that you're going to be coached to help them create. They have to create a governance system. How are decisions going to be made in this home? What are they submitting to? Right? Communication. What does communication mean to them? What language will be spoken here? What codes of communication? They talk about education. How will they continue to improve themselves? Even education for their own career, education when their children come in. What's the economic system? What is going to be their sustainable family? What is going to be the contribution to their family economy? How do they build their family economy? What are they going to be saving? What budgeting templates will they use? At what time will they begin to put money away for investments? These things need to be discussed. Domestic management system. How will their home run? What will be the aura in this home? How will we manage our stock keeping? How will we manage if we're going to have domestic staff? What is the limits? What is our recruitment policy? How are we going to manage our home so that it's somewhere warm, somewhere the ambience is inviting, and even us will look forward to being here? What a recreational and fun system. Nobody was designed to work and die. So it's important for them to also design how, as a new couple, are we going to do recreation? Okay, are you going to have your own recreation and fun? What other mutual companionship can we do? What is our budget for fun and recreation? You know, then we move on to security and immigration system. No country leaves their borders porous. And you will agree with me that our families is a micro of the nation. Your family is a nation that makes up the bigger society. So what is going to be the security system in your home? How will visitors be admitted? Even extended family members that are coming over, what's our policy about it? If somebody is going to stay in our home, not just a visit of overnight, what is the policy? What's our immigration policy? At what time will people be deported? What are the things that somebody will do, and we would take away our citizenship from them? We would let them out. What is how somebody can be before we open our borders to them? These are things that should be discussed. Even if you're going to have a driver, you're going to have domestic staff, what's the minimum immigration standard? Because some of these issues, people say, oh, I have issues with in-laws. I have issues you didn't talk about it. You didn't discuss what your immigration system was going to be about. And did both of you agree and you are able to honor it? Then we talk about their health and wellness. What is health going to be for us? How are we going to maintain health? Are we going to be active? If we're active, are we exercising together or alone? Are we going to, how do we do our annual checks? Or does somebody has an HMO, health management system, and that covers the whole family? What funds are we going to put aside for emergency? I mean, you see people get married, they are pregnant, they are begging for money for the wife to put to bed. First of all, you got married, pregnancy gives you a 9-month notice. You didn't start putting money aside. You didn't know, okay, what were the things that was within your budget? You take your pregnancy to a hospital that you can't afford. That's because your health and wellness, your economic system, your governance system, there is a gap there. What's going to be the culture of this home? How are we going to integrate our culture? Because see, everybody is shouting that society, Africa, we are losing our values, we are losing our culture. Everybody creates the culture in their home. What's going to be the noise level here? What's our traditions? How are we going to uphold those traditions? And then your legacy. We are not created to just come and die. We are created to matter. We are created to do something. And then this legacy, imagine if your children are born into your legacy. It already makes parenting easy for you. They already have a benchmark with how you are going to raise them, what your family represents, the kind of culture. So if you, as a premarital coach, begin these conversations with them, do you see how it helps them to navigate those teething problems that could come in the first 1 to 3 years of marriage? Do you also see how this also gives them a room for conversations that they should have with their children when they are growing up? I say to people that we got married, Nejuma and I got married in 2004, and by December 2005, we had created our family vision, mission, and core values. And of course, we got married 2003, and our first daughter was born 2004. Then we created our family vision in the 2005. And then as our child was growing, she was already born into the family culture and legacy, that it became a thing even as a primary school goer. Part of the rituals we do in the morning was pray. The father will bless her, bless every member of the home, and we will recite our family vision, our family mission, and core values, that our children from age 3, 4 knew what the family represented. In fact, when we were going for speaking engagements, even when they were as young as 4, we will go with them when we're trying to build people to have the culture of having a family governance system, and then they would recite it. These days till now, our family immigration system, if you're going to come to our house and you're going to spend more than 2 weeks, you will go through an induction process where one of the children is going to take you through what the family represents, our vision, our mission and core values, so that you know what we represent. And we begin to hand you our family systems guidebook, so you know how you're expected to act here. In fact, we have one time in our marriage had to, what's they call that thing, where you send people out, deport a family member, a sibling of one of us, who came into the home and was not honoring the family system. We had to say, you know what, you are no longer fit to be here. And the person was deported. And we both agreed because it had been created. So imagine what you are able to do for your premarital people when they begin to have these conversations. So premarital coaching, an effective one, should be able to teach the intending couples proactive systems mentality that helps to bring structure and ease of living, so that they can discuss the strategies for running their family effectively without losing themselves. And what you see our alumni raving about is that the conversations you need to have with your clients in each of this system, we have already created it. There are series of coaching questions. There are series of action steps that they should take. That's so it's not like you imagining, okay, when it comes to governance system, what should I teach them? What should I tell them? Don't worry, we've done the work for you. You just take the blueprint, deploy it, and guide them through those questions so that they can create theirs. So the question now is, what are you currently doing? I read someone say, I thought I knew everything about premarital until today. If you are to review your premarital practice, where do you think the gap is for you? Is the gap in your ability to have a coaching presence because you don't have sufficient skills that embody a safe space for your clients? Do you think that the gap in your current premarital is because you don't have the tools, the assessments, and the techniques to help the individual people create wholeness so that they come to a place of personal harmony? Or is it the mutual harmony one that you think you're missing? You don't have assessment, you don't have tools, you don't have techniques to help them improve their alignment? Or is it that you don't even understand, you don't have the techniques to support them to design their systems and the strategies of doing life together? Where is it? Talk to me. I need somebody vulnerable today. Because yesterday, I got people who were vulnerable to say, hey, coach, this is where I think the gap is. So if you're listening to me, where do you think you have the gap? Where do you think you have the gap? I'm waiting. Talk to me. Mabel says, where do I reside? I live in Lagos, Nigeria, but I'm currently in Houston, Texas, but I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay. And I'm curious why you asked. You say you spoke like you're else. Currently, right now, I'm not in Nigeria, but I live in Nigeria. All right. So where are my people? Don't we have vulnerable people today? Which one do you think you're lacking? Coaching presence, personal harmony tools, mutual harmony tools, family effectiveness. Even if it is everything, don't worry. That's why you're here. Because our goal at the Start Your Marriage Academy, Start Your Marriage Right Academy, is to provide you with indigenous, research and evidence-based premarital coaching framework and to raise equipped and effective premarital coaches who will start help marriages start right from the start. Hence our name, Start Your Marriage Right Academy. So how do we do that? Let me tell you about this premarital game changer that our alumni has been talking about. I like to call it the ultimate done for you premarital coach training and licensing program. I will spare you this. These are recorded testimonials of our alumni, but I think you've heard enough testimonials for tonight. Let me show you the pathway to becoming certified and licensed. And this will happen in 12 weeks plus one. In the 13th week is your graduation. So the whole experience will take 13 weeks, including your graduation. So what is it? Why do we call it the ultimate done for you premarital coach training? And why are our alumni raving about it? Even the alumni who have taken other certifications is, like I said, the ultimate done for you. First of all, we give you the blueprint, the flourishing marriage blueprint that I've just described to you, the 3-pillar based blueprint. Then we give you a framework for deploying that blueprint in premarital, where we have already designed these 3 pillars have been broken into 12 modules with the objective of each module, the exercises for you to do, the coaching questions, and everything has been put together in a comprehensive facilitator handbook. So you could open the handbook literally after you have been trained and administer effective premarital such that I can administer, such that anybody from the Start Your Marriage Rights Academy alumni can administer, because you already have it and you have a lifetime access to it. Then we're going to train you, because there are certain things in the framework that you may be new to you, that you don't know how to deploy. So you go through this 12 weeks plus one training, and then you also have a community of your particular batch and a community of the whole alumni. Not only that, we have seen that people, after they take certifications, they are confused. They don't know how to start off. Yes, you've been given a done for you. You already have all the modules, but how do you know how to recruit people? How do you know how to? Don't worry. After your training, we have a mentoring process, an internship, that's what I'll call it. And the internship, we have designed certain things. We've designed kind of topics that you should teach. You are expected to teach certain topics. And let me tell you, even if you don't have a platform, don't worry. The academy provides a platform for you to practice, where you teach these topics, and we have already given you the topics. We have taught you what to do. Then we give you something. I just added this on. So your set will be the first people getting it. Because even after, I told you that anybody who doesn't improve is that the day you stop learning and improving, that's the day your capacity to wreck lives increase. So yes, we had put this internship thing. We've given our alumni, okay, go and do this. We've even designed a masterclass I have taught the class severally on how the masterclass we use in recruiting people for premarital. Then we reworked it and gave it to our alumni to say, use this. Remember, people need to know you, like you, and trust you. Go and teach this exact masterclass that I have taught severally that got clients, and say, take it. Go and teach it and practice how to recruit people, how to take people from the crowd and make them interested in what you're doing and convert them to paying clients. Because people may have taken certifications, but they don't know how to monetize. We have embedded in this a process, but this is where your class becomes the first to take it. And I'm sure the alumni are listening to hear what I have to say. Don't worry, you will also have an access to it. Everyone who has taken this program will get an access to this, but this is the first time we're launching it. It is your 90 days roadmap to selling yourself and your premarital solution and having your first paid class. And this is, without mincing words, a roadmap that I can train people on, and even if I'm selling it for 500,000, they would pay for it. But you know what? I don't want to just train people and they're still struggling to make money. So I have designed a 90-day roadmap. What you're going to do in day 1, in day 2, in day 3. I'm not going to do it for you. I've given you the framework to selling your first paid premarital class. And I can tell you, I don't know any training that will give you that. Train you and still give you a roadmap to monetize the training. So that is all we've done, because I want to, for my husband and I, we looked at this when we became 20 years in our marriage, and we're like, we've been using this framework in our personal trainings, in our personal work with couples. How many people? May this year I turned 48. I'm going to be 50 in 2 years. And the legacy we have of wanting to help people start marriage is beyond us. So we say we're better start training people, license them. Somebody is like, oh, Dima, you're giving them everything you have. What if they knock you out of the industry? I said, that's not possible. I know that the mandate we have is bigger than 2 of us. So the more people we equip with this framework, and through them, we're meeting our legacy. If we want to reach 1 million young marriages, I mean, how many can both of us reach? But by the time we train 10,000 premarital coaches and give them this framework, you can imagine the ripple effect. So again, for those who are saying, okay, I don't have a platform, how do I practice? We have also created a place where, after taking the training, you can facilitate premarital on the Academy's platform and be paid facilitation fees, even whilst you're building yours. Then there are some people we have somebody that's 70 years that has been trained, and she's like, I don't want to do the rigors of creating a platform. I just want to feel fulfilled helping people prepare. And she's just staying there, facilitating on the Academy's platform and still earning her facilitation fees. So tell me, what else do you need than this ultimate done for you premarital coaching that gives you the blueprint, framework, training, community, internship, and platform? The platform is not compulsory. You can take your framework and go and deploy it in your platform. But if you want a place where you can practice, we also provide that terms and conditions where we pay you facilitation fee for your time. So I don't know what else to tell you. And at the end of your coaching, you will be able to help them create this document that is a representation of the 3 pillars. So let's get to the juicy part. How much will this cost you? The very last batch of this training for 2025 will happen starting September 15th. September 15th. That is the last. So if you don't want to step into 2026, still wondering, still hoping, still afraid of being confident, still judging whether you can do this, this is your opportunity to take the training, starting September 15th. What is this going to cost you? The training fees for the 13 weeks training for your that also gives you the facilitator handbook, that also gives you a 1-year license and access to the learning portal. So even though classes end in 13 weeks, you still have access to the training portal where you can still go and watch the videos and refresh your mind. You also get the recordings of the coaching classes, all the recording of the coaching classes for life, the access to the learning portal for 1 year is a $500,000, is a $320. You would agree with me that that is very cheap compared to what you have paid for other certifications that didn't give you all that I have mentioned we are giving you. And you have heard from our alumni say it is as it is. There is nothing promised here that has not been given. But because you're here and you stayed day 1, you stayed day 2, you have a chance. And this is valid for 72 hours, which is 3 days. You can either make a one-time payment of $400,000 or $250, or if you want to do installment, the installment fee is $440,000, or you break it into 2 installments of $220. This is valid for only 3 days. After 3 days, the price returns to $500,320. So if this is you, that is your chance, and you have your webinar discount. Because we are a couple-founded academy, and my husband and I have actively done marriage coaching, marriage mentoring, premarital coaching together, we kind of welcome couples who want to do this. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to be a couple to do effective premarital. But if you want to sign up as a couple, we get one person pays the full fee, and the partner pays 50%. That's what we do. But you have to take the training together. So if that is you as a couple, instead of you paying $750,000, if you take the webinar discount, you get to pay $600,000. Or you want to break it into 2-time payment, you are paying $660, but installment of $330. Please note that the couple discount only applies if the couple are taking it together. If the couple are not taking it together, only one person registers, but you are already a member of the alumni. If your partner wants to take the course, we have a discount for your partner, but it's not the 50%. Your partner will now get a discount of 25%. But if you take it together, you enjoy the other spouse paying 50%. What else do I need to tell you than to say you should scan this code and get your alumni discount? Yes, Christiana, you can pay in pounds. If you click the link that is giving you, you would see on Seller. Seller allows you pay in pounds. Your card will be charged in pounds. Okay, so talk to me, scan the code. Is there any question for me? I look forward to welcoming you in class. You can see how excited our alumni are. They are also looking forward to you joining. I can tell you, this remains right now the ultimate done for you premarital coaching training that you can get for this. So I hand over to Ayobami, and I look forward as the lead facilitator meeting you in class. And if you didn't get an opportunity to meet my co-founder, don't worry, you will meet him in class. And when you meet him, you will understand why he is called the Udogu of family systems. Over to you, Ayobami.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Please stay muted. Please stay muted.
Oh, Ayobami, sorry, I mistakenly muted you. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm trying to mute the people making noise.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying engaged. Thank you for participating in this. Thank you for listening. It's been 2 hours of Coach Dima sharing from her heart. You can already tell how generous she is. I mean, this 90 days roadmap, I'm just hearing this and I'm already even jumping because I thought that she has given us, just imagine. So you can't have, anything less than your dream or than what you're anticipating. As a matter of fact, you don't have an idea. So whatever you're thinking you will get, best believe you're getting more than that. It's when you get in, you're going to say, oh wow, because we can't just even describe it enough, to be honest. And then, of course, you get a chance to meet the Odogu of systems. When you get in, you will understand truly why is the Odogu. There's nothing like it. I mean, I've met some of the alumni here. We've had to do other courses before. I know that the coach Deborah, she has also done various courses before. And of course, we agreed that there's nothing like it. None of the courses we've had before has been anything like this. So thank you. Thank you for investing in yourself and investing in the clients that you're going to impact. Thank you. Thank you. So if you have further questions, please, you can contact us. She has Kodima herself is on Instagram. Then the Start Your Marriage Right Academy, is also on Instagram. So you just send a DM. The admin will keep sending links to you that you can, just click and then you're right with us. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope that you make that choice and that decision. So this feels like evangelism when you have something good and you're sharing with others to come and, have a taste. Because of course, it's also my dream that marriages, do better and well, especially in Africa. And so if you have the tool, if we are plenty that have this tool, just imagine the number of homes that will be able to impact and the number of lives that will be transformed. Okay, so you can chat Ifunaya. If you need to further just make contact, you can chat Ifunaya. The WhatsApp number is right there in the chat box. Thank you so much. Again, I will encourage you to mention this to a friend. Mention this. I know it feels like, oh, we have just really spoken so well of this course, right? When you get in, make a decision to get in. Don't just say, I came to hear them. Oh, okay, they were saying a lot. Make a decision. And as a matter of fact, if you don't already have the fund, but you really want to do it, put it in your heart and put it before God. It happened to me. And that was what I did. And guess what? I can freely say that somehow, I even thought that I was going to do, the next batch, right? And somehow I was able to meet up. It's a matter of just having that desire and putting it before God, and you will see it happen. Because you are not in the clan of people that destroy homes in the name of native intelligence. No, you have heard, in short, these words, may it not stand against you on the judgment day. Because you now know how to do better, right? All right, so thank you so much for joining us. We will be bringing the webinar to a close. It's been fun here. It's been a moment of learning. I know that you have learned other things today that are new. Somebody said when we started earlier that, oh, I learned things that, I didn't know before. I know even today, I know that you haven't been using the system thing. Can you see when she shared her screen? Can you see? That's what you're going to be learning. And that's just like, it's not like you haven't seen anything like it. So just make up your mind to join us. Coach Kafilat Moji Abdul Aziz, she's also an alumni. Thank you, ma'am, for joining tonight. Thank you. Yeah, and that's the WhatsApp number. You can just click on it, and then you'll be right in touch with us. Thank you. We're grateful for your presence. Thank you for being amazing audience. Thank you. So here is where we'll say good night. Don't sleep over what you've heard. Don't sleep. Keep turning over it until you take the right step. Don't use it to eat chicken and chips, like the person said earlier. Don't. All right. So have a beautiful evening. Bye.
Think it's time for us to go. If you go to the chat room, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying, oh, how do you need more information. I just dropped a link there so you can directly chat with Ifunanya, and Ifunanya will give you more details about joining September batch. Remember, the webinar deal is up for 72 hours. Please chat us and let's get this started. So, okay. It's goodbye from me, and enjoy the rest of your week. And I hope to see you in class. Don't wait till 2026 to come back and say, I wish I did this. Take that bold step now, change the trajectory for you so that next year you will be starting ready to do much for lives and for families. God bless you, and hope you stay blessed.